With Xenoverse 3 coming out next year, I want to make a video that I kind of have planned for a little bit, where we are going to find out what game has the better story, Dragon Ball Xenoverse 1 or Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2. Now we'll be giving points to each saga that is, well, what I would say is the better saga. So, hey everyone, this is the Cyber here, welcome back to a new video. And yeah, as I already said in the intro, this is just a comparison video in a way. And we're going to be giving points to this certain saga that gets the point of like which game had it better. Like example, the opening Saiyan saga, Namek saga, well, Ginyu saga, because we can't do Zarbon and Dodoria because that was not in Dragon Ball Xenoverse 1. Though, I will say this for a special exception later on in the video, where we have Battle of Gods and Resurrection F. Now, Xenoverse 1 completely covered Battle of Gods, and Xenoverse 2 completely covered Resurrection F. Xenoverse 1 did not have Resurrection F, and Xenoverse 2 didn't really do anything for Battle of Gods. Let's actually get started with this video, and here we go. Alright, so for our first point that we're going to have to be giving out is of how the game actually starts. Now, we're not going to go with the intro cinematic or anything, or like, just like, while Xenoverse 1 actually included a whole tutorial kind of how to fight, Xenoverse 2 really just like took you just flying around the stage, like Kanton City, to introduce you to that this is like a whole new land. Well, in Xenoverse 1, you actually get to face off against Trunks in the opening, which is another chance to introduce you to your character. So, I think it's gonna have to go to Xenoverse 1. Especially that it put a lot more effort into putting in fights than just going with like the whole introduction to like the whole city, because you do that right after. So, yeah, Xenoverse 1 gets our first point. Alright, next up, the Saiyan saga. So we're going to go from Raditz all the way to the Great Apes. So I just want to note that Xenoverse 1 does include a lot more than Xenoverse 2. In fact, Xenoverse 2 cuts out most of the Xenoverse 1 segment. I'm not kidding, actually. Like, we get a whole fight between Goku, Piccolo, and Raditz. And it's just like, then we actually save Gohan in Xenoverse 1. Now, in Xenoverse 2, we just arrive and fall on the ground. Which is kind of just, not much. And then it kind of just ends up the same. So, they already have an advantage on Xenoverse 1. So now, let's get to, well, of course, of how it is for Vegeta and Nappa's part. So, for their part, we actually do start off with a full-on cinematic what-if, and we arrive, actually, right when Tien and Yamcha are fighting the Cybermen, because apparently there are a lot this time. Which even includes Cybermen that shouldn't be there. Which is already an addition to just like, it's already doing better. In fact, Xenoverse 1 is more consistent. Well, in Xenoverse 2, we just like, they just skip the Cybermen. We fight Nappa instead. And then we go to Turles. And, yeah. While Xenoverse 1 really includes a lot more. So you can already tell that I'm giving this a favor to Xenoverse 1. Especially that they had a lot more, and honestly, it kind of was a better starter than what we had in Xenoverse 2. Because in Xenoverse 2, we just go fight Turles, we come back, everyone's dead except for Gohan and Krillin, and then we had to fight both Nappa and Vegeta. So, yeah, it kind of has to go to Xenoverse 1, especially that it includes an extra fight where we just face off against Vegeta. So, as I said, we are skipping the Zarbon and Dodoria part of this due to the fact that they're not included in Xenoverse 1. So, we're just skipping right to Ginyu, especially that, like, you know, this was definitely the better saga. So, in Xenoverse 1, we actually start off with the what if where Vegeta is currently taken by the Ginyu force of Ginyu, and then they just beat up Goku. That's the what if. Yeah. And then we actually do jump in and actually get some cool moments from the Ginyu Force Saga, but I forgot to capture some of the footage. But one of the highlights of Xenoverse 1's version is that you actually get taken by Ginyu instead of Goku. And this is a major part of the story. And due to that, Goldo actually lives a little bit longer. Yeah. Because Vegeta didn't kill Goldo yet, apparently. This is weird. But what I can really say is that, like, I think that we easily get a lot more with the Ginyu Saga. Though, in Xenoverse 2, I find it interesting of how we actually have interactions coming from the villains. Sorry, I'm trying to put my mind together with all this. It's kind of difficult. I'm doing my best. But with Xenoverse 2, it does give us, like, the whole villains actually interrupting, like Turles giving Jason Birder the Tree of Might. Well, the fruit of it, I mean, not the actual Tree of Might, because that would be actually stupid as hell. But something I had to, like, really praise it for is that it literally gives us more of a challenge. That's really the most I can say. Yeah. And then, like, we have the biggest thing, which is a massive issue. Trunks is there, and he for some reason gets taken by Ginyu. And you know what's funny? Literally, in the spin-off game Dragon Ball The Breakers, in the Ginyu storyline, Trunks helps us, right? Explain to me how he got captured by Ginyu twice! Like, what are we doing, Trunks? What are we doing? Anyway, with Xenoverse 1, we actually had to play as Ginyu and go through a very stressful fight. It was not fun. I think it was one of the worst missions of Xenoverse 1, in my opinion. But in Xenoverse 2, we actually do get, well, just Turles helps Ginyu out with capturing Goku. Meanwhile, in, well, Xenoverse 1, we just, we get our body back because we actually trick him. And they reuse the same cutscene. I'm not even kidding. It's just different. It's just different. No, wait, no, it is the same exact cutscene. But I'm gonna be honest. I think that Xenoverse 2 does come close, but not close enough. I think Xenoverse 1 takes the cake once again. Okay, the Frieza saga. Now, here, I'm actually gonna have to praise Xenoverse 2 way more on this. Due to the fact that I think it has better fights than Xenoverse 1. Like, in Xenoverse 1, we just skip over, like, the nail fight, because he's not in the game, and we just face with Vegeta, Gohan, and Krillin. And also, we don't really get to really fight his first form, which really sucks. Like, why use it in the game if he's not going to be playable? So, yeah, there's that. And then, like, I also do really enjoy the fact that we actually get to face off against Turles and Slug with Trunks. And we obliterate them. But that's like the main changes at the start. Which, yeah, I praise it a lot more. I think I like that better because we start off with the Frieza saga properly, and then we actually face off against villains that are in the timeline. And here, I really do like of how we are part of the first Super Saiyan transformation, where we just get attacked by Frieza and then thrown to the wall. But I think it has to go to Xenoverse 2 for a few reasons. One, it includes more stuff this time around, I think. And another reason They give us Cooler in the final battle against Frieza. And I'm not gonna lie, I really do like this change, and I think that it brings more of a threat to the Frieza saga. Like, this is like the first time I'm actually having to praise Xenoverse 2 more than Xenoverse 1, so I would say that Xenoverse 2 takes the cake. The Cell Saga. My favorite saga in the Dragon Ball series. Yeah. So, I'm very excited to talk about this one. So in Xenoverse 1, we just start off with the Cell games. But in Xenoverse 2, we actually start off literally where the Cell Saga actually begins! When he absorbs 17 and 18! Like, literally, this is like exactly how it should have started in Xenoverse 1, but it didn't because they didn't have Android 16! So many reasons why they don't have these, it's because they're missing characters! Oh my god, sorry. That was probably very hard to understand what I said. But I really do prefer the Cell Saga in Xenoverse 2. And one slight issue though, we repeat the exact same fight with Mira and Toa in both Xenoverse 1 and Xenoverse 2. Why do we repeat it? I don't know, it's absolutely stupid. But it does lead to one of the coolest parts of the saga, which is where we fight Metal Cooler. Meanwhile in Xenoverse 1, you actually face off against Hercule, as he is mind-controlled. And somehow more powerful! This is not a joke! But, yeah, I think it's easy to say that, Xenoverse 2 definitely takes it on, because I think it does it a lot better. Especially that we don't have to deal with the mind-controlled Gohan in it. So, there's that. But yeah, Xenoverse 2 takes on the Cell Saga. Hey there, it's Amy. So, this is something funny I noticed while editing this segment. So, if we go, like, right here. So you notice of how it's like, it's all a black frame, and that's just our CSC in it. So we got hands, like, ahead a few frames, and, like, look, we're in the stage, but we go one frame back. This is something that's way too funny that I noticed, so I just wanted to include that in the video. Okay, I don't think I need to say much, honestly, for this segment. The history of Trunks. Okay, Xenoverse 1 has a cool gimmick to it where, you know, they actually go after Trunks to erase him from history, and they actually created 2 timelines where he possibly died. Even though it's like, well, different time frames, I mean. But I'm gonna be honest, it doesn't exactly compete with Xenoverse 2's version of the History of Trunks saga in any shape or form. Like, yeah, it's cool that we got, like, the whole thing with, like, Demigra revealing himself to us, and also the whole part with Mira, well, not Mira, just Toa talking to us. You know, just, like, saying, hey, like, you're gonna lose, or something like that. I forgot what she said. But I'm gonna be honest, Xenoverse 2 made it better with Gohan alone. Yeah, I'm going straight up with this. Gohan alone kind of just made this part way better, especially with the whole speech he gave. So I gotta give it to Xenoverse 2. There's no way I can give it to Xenoverse 1 because Xenoverse 2 made it a lot better, just so casually.
I will never die. Even if my body breaks, another will rise in my place to dismantle you heartless androids.
I'm gonna be honest, I'm kind of divided on this arc, honestly, when it comes to Xenoverse 1 and 2. Because we start off in Xenoverse 1 with the Super Saiyan 3 Goku transformation, and we actually face off Mira and Toa, where we actually kill Mira! What the hell? We were not expecting that, right? That early? Well, it's not that early, really, but still. But after the whole Super Saiyan 3 Goku thing, it does just go to the lookout right around when Gotenks is born. And then we go to Gohan. and then the Earth actually blows up. That is cool. That, like, it's a way to just, like, have it where, because we don't have Buuhan in the game. Now, let's talk about Xenoverse 2. What the hell happened? You started off way too well with having the whole Majin Vegeta sacrifice and everything. No Super Saiyan 3 Goku, though. You just skip right to Gohan. But, you actually skip to a different part entirely. Yeah, you skip right to the end of the Gotenks fight against Super Buu. And then you go to Gohan. It doesn't stop there. Broly enters in, as he came in before, but now he's back. Oh, and then, like, something's going on in Hell. So we gotta go to Hell. So we don't, like, get the Buuhan sequence or anything because he's still not in the game. Vegeta backs us up. Vegeta, you should be Vegeto right now. What are we doing? Yeah, it's confusing a little bit, and that kind of implies that during that entire thing, before history gets fixed, Goku is having to survive on his own. He has to survive on his own. I don't know how he's doing it, but he is. It's just, it was really funny figuring that out, that's basically what happens, if you really think about it. But I'm kind of divided. And I'm gonna be honest, I kind of feel the same about both versions, if that makes sense. So this is going to be a tie for both Xenoverse 1 and Xenoverse 2. Battle of Gods and Resurrection F. This one's gonna be a little bit tricky, because I'm gonna be honest, I really do like both of these versions done in Xenoverse. But, after a lot of time of thinking, it has to go to Battle of Gods. It goes through from, like, the whole thing with Goku turning Super Saiyan God, including the fight underground, where we actually see Beerus notice that there's something off, which is cool. And then I also really do like of how Demigro, like, tries to trick Beerus, and then Beerus actually pulls a whole 180 on him, and just, like, teams up with us, because, well, Demigro is clearly a threat, and Beerus rather get rid of the threat than destroy the Earth. Which is pretty cool. And I really do like of how it's done. In Xenoverse 2 with the Resurrection F saga, we do go through, like, the whole fight, and we are the one who fights First Form Frieza. Though we don't get to fight Final Form Frieza, he just skips it entirely. And I will say, I do like of how it kind of mimics the Frieza arc in the Namek section. Why do I have trouble saying that? But it has to go to Xenoverse 1 on this. So, yeah. The finale. We are finally here. But we still have more sagas to cover! As we have the secret one and, of course, the DLC. Well, the first two DLC. We're not going past the Goku Black saga when it comes to stuff, but let's get on with the finale sagas. Or the final sagas, you know what I mean. So when it comes to Xenoverse 1, you just are teamed up with Goku fighting off, like, enemies. That's it. It doesn't serve much story purpose, I'm not gonna lie. It does not have much story to it. Where it's kind of rushed for that part. Like, you just fight enemies you fought before and people who've outlived. That's it. Now in Xenoverse 2, you actually face off against your Xenoverse 1 hero. Already at a better start. Like, I'm not even gonna hold it. Like, in terms of writing, Xenoverse 2 already has it a step ahead. Now, when we face Demigra in the Time Crystals, we're going to substitute this as the fight where we fight Toa, trying to, like, reverse history, like, get rid of the Xenoverse 1 CAC. And, yeah, I'm not gonna lie, the Demigra part actually has the overhead on it. I'm not gonna lie. I think that part's better. But the final boss is what we're gonna get at. One, the whole setup. Xenoverse 1 takes way too long. There are way too many cutscenes to do it, so we're only gonna show one clip because I'm not gonna get all that footage of the other cutscenes. But let's just say Xenoverse 2 takes it, like, there's no doubt about it. Xenoverse 2 takes it on the final boss. There's no way that you can say that the Xenoverse 1 boss is better. Like, nah. Xenoverse 2 definitely takes it. So, yeah. Point to Xenoverse 2, once again. Now, as a quick bonus, what is the better secret ending? It's Xenoverse 1. It's Xenoverse 1. I also didn't get footage for Xenoverse 2, but I'm gonna be honest, Xenoverse 1 takes it, like, especially that, like, they actually talk in the cutscene, and it's just a way better moment than just, like, the head nod. But, like, Dragon Fist was cool, but I really do feel like that Xenoverse 1 secret ending was way better. But because it's a secret ending, we're going to only give it 0.5 points. So, yeah. Now for the ending of the games. So, I'm gonna be honest. It's a hard say. Like, Xenoverse 1 does set up Xenoverse 2 perfectly, but I feel like that Xenoverse 2 has the better light-hearted moment of just like, it's all over. We did it, and it's time to take a break or something, and you know what, let's have some fun. While in Xenoverse 1, you just like, you train the next Time Patrollers. That's what it is. But, as I said, it does set up the sequel pretty well, and I do like that. But I really feel like Xenoverse 2 definitely had the better ending to the game. Here we are with the secret sagas of the game. Now, this is what you get in reward of just... I don't remember how it was in Xenoverse 1. But in Xenoverse 2, you just gather all the time eggs and all that, and you get a special ending thing, where you actually get to see what happened with Bardock after the time, well, just pulling himself in with Mira. And then there was like a aftermath of Gohan and Trunks. But I'm gonna be honest, compared to Xenoverse 1's version, it's not that good. I hate to say that. But Xenoverse 1 did it really well because it's like a whole new what if. Like, it's during the fate of Bardock and Broly's second coming at the same exact time. Now, that's what I find really cool about this. Especially that we get to fight Frieza in it! Like, what? Just, we get to fight Frieza in the... You get it, it's cool. It's cool. Now, during the second coming part, I'm just glad my Gohan appears. And, you know, what's actually kind of funny is that both Bardock and Gohan take on the Secret Sagas, if you think about it, because they both appear in it. They both have a role in the Secret Sagas, and yet there's no Goku, which is honestly funny to me. Now, one of the cooler parts of the whole, like, battle with Bardock and Broly, though, is the fact that they actually fight on Namek while it's dying. And then they get transported to Earth and actually lets Vegeta have a moment. And we actually get to see Grey Ape Bardock. Also, we get to fight Broly, of course, but yeah. So, yeah, it's obviously a point to Xenoverse. So when it came to this part, I couldn't exactly decide. So I let you guys actually decide on the polls of my channel. And, well, you guys actually came through and decided to go with the Universe 6 versus Universe 7 saga of Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2 over the GT Saga Part 1. And I'm not gonna lie, after actually replaying it properly, like back to back, yeah, Universe 6 versus Universe 7 is an easy winner. So, yeah, so you guys picked right, I guess, anyway. But at first I couldn't decide, and I let you guys do it. So, yeah, there's that. But I'm gonna be honest, it's just, compared to Xenoverse 1, yeah, the DLC overtakes it instantly, just, yeah. Though, I will say that the GT Saga Part 1 has its moments, but it's not as good as the Xenoverse 2 DLC.
Well then, that's a nuisance.
You should watch what you say, because that nuisance is a friend of mine, and you're not being very nice.
Oh, you two seem pretty tight.
Yes, we are.
Finally, we are here at the last segment of the video. The final DLC of Xenoverse 1 versus the Goku Black Saga. And I don't have much good to say about Xenoverse 1, so Xenoverse 2, you take the spot as the better story! Yes! There we go! That is what it is. I'm sorry, I can't really seek enjoyment from the Part 2, Dragon Ball GT Part 2. Because it's just so rushed. It's such a rushed DLC story. Xenoverse 2 takes its spot. Immediately, I'm not even gonna hold it. And I want to thank you guys for also watching this video. I was meaning to get this out on Friday, but I'm still editing it on Friday. So, yeah. Anyway, this is the Cyber, signing off.